All right, I'm here back again with Jeff Tanner, and we're talking about the Roane County Schools levy to help out our students in Roane County. And this is show number 2. We're going to talk a little bit about the nuts and bolts of the levy and break down each category and give the details a little bit.
Perfect.
All right, so let's get it started. There is A through F sections that will be listed on the ballot, and each of those sections has an amount along with the details of what that amount goes for.
Yep.
So let's start with A, and we'll just go in order.
Sounds good.
Okay. So A, $300,000, and then this is listed as instructional materials and technology. Give us some details on that.
Yep. In the board's thought behind that when they at their meeting was they need to be able to provide extra instructional materials such as textbooks,
right,
other classroom type materials, and they're going to try to break that $300,000 up, into sections. So part of it's going to go through the textbooks and instructional materials.
Yep.
The next part of that will be for technology updates.
Right.
New technology supporting the old technology. Some of the smart boards that they've got in the classroom now, you're looking at a light bulb that costs a couple $100 to
right.
replace a light bulb. So some stuff that they can go back in and be able to keep updating
right.
or maintain the existing technology they've got.
And everybody knows how important that is. For instance, your cell phones last 2 years. We have some technology in our school that's going on 10 years old that need updated, replaced, upgraded, whatever the case may be. So
right.
important funding for that.
And that's stuff that you just can't get through grant funding. You
right.
get the grants to get some of the technology
right.
sometimes, but you don't get the opportunity to be able to get those materials to support those.
Right.
And the other part of that will be then is to provide technology support. So they'll have contract other people or hire other people to go in and help repair, update, and even train staff on how to utilize this technology with our children.
And that is very important. The training is always great. And no matter what field you're in or what job you do, you have to have adequate training. So
right.
very key part of that. Okay, Section B is $200,000, and that is for employment of staff. Go into a couple details with that.
And what that was for is really, the thought is to try to help maintain or improve a lower student-to-teacher ratio. So we're not having such large classrooms or having to do anything else as far as split classrooms.
Right.
So that's kind of what that's for.
Okay, and C is capital improvements. It's at $195,000. Expand on capital improvements.
Well, in capital improvements, we have a lot of facilities. The high school probably is one of the, if not the newest facility. Gary
right.
Elementary's
got a nice addition.
Their addition, but we need to maintain those facilities. We need to have funds to where we can maintain the facilities as far as their infrastructure, but also we need to have that money to where we can take that back and use that to try to help get some new facilities built.
Right.
Or expand on some of the existing facilities that we already have.
Right. And everybody knows it's been in our schools. There's constant upkeep. Our security systems need constant upgrading. So a lot of work to be done there. That is a great area.
Everybody, just like everybody's house, the carpet's got to be changed every so many years.
Yep.
The tiles got to be replaced. We've got to go through those same things as a school system and as a county, and that's kind of what those funds are going to go
right.
to help for.
Sounds great. Okay, Section D, $157,000 approximately, and that's for teacher support.
Yeah, and that's really kind of like a salary supplement, and that's trying to help give $500 for the professional for the teachers and $250 for our service personnel. All those individuals are vital for our children.
Right.
They provide vital functions. We've got to have them. We've got to provide something back for them to be able to retain them and to be able to, in the future, as they retire, to hire new.
Right, to recruit. And we talked about that earlier, and that's a big part of it. We need good people to produce good students, and everybody
Absolutely.
wants that. So that's a nice way to retain and recruit teachers for our kids.
Absolutely.
Okay, Section E, $100,000, and this is for transportation. Talk a little bit about the transportation we can.
And it's kind of a nice broad category because it's also for a like an extracurricular activity bus.
Right.
That's going to allow the kids that they may participate at the high school, which is a prime example. At the high school, if they participate in band,
right.
or if they're in choir, or athletics,
yep.
football, wrestling, basketball, whatever, and they live in those outlying areas, they can participate and then have transportation, good, safe transportation,
right.
back home to where they can get picked up, and allows them to be able to participate. That money is also going to be able to be used for other extracurricular activities, math and science fairs, social studies fairs, extra trips that groups may need to take or something like that.
Right.
Athletic teams, and how that would really affect athletic teams, for example, is they're now paying out of their budget to pay for a bus to go to a game. Well,
Right.
that saves them that money. That's money that they can then use on equipment for their kids, or
Even go back into the school system itself.
even go back
if they have to rob it from there to pay for
well,
that trip.
even go back into the school system from the standpoint, it goes back into those programs, which ultimately will allow those kids to have more opportunities.
Right. And that's a big point, I think, providing those opportunities for our kids. We would hate for a child not to be able to go on a field trip or participate in an extracurricular activity just because they live in an outlying area.
Well, and you look at some of the neighboring counties, or some of the counties that do not have excess levies, or some of the counties that are in financial trouble. Those kids are now having to either find their own way, so their parents are having to take them to these activities, or they're just not able to go.
Right. Well, I grew up out at
counseling.
Gary, and I understand that challenge. It's hard. Until I drove and was able to afford a car, it was hard for me to play sports, do after-school activities. So transportation is a big issue.
Yeah.
And we struggle with that across the county because
Well,
we're so spread out.
And you see it in a lot of rural counties. There was
Right.
a nice article in the paper a couple weeks ago about Greenbrier County talking about the same
Same
subject.
issues. Yep. Okay, and Section F, the last section, 24,000. That's for WVU extension. Expand on that a little bit.
Well, and that kind of goes to, WVU Extension agent and service. The school boards pay part of those.
Right. They
funds.
partner and collaborate with the school board to provide
And they-
activities.
Yep, absolutely. And so the school board pays for part of our extension agents' salaries. So that'll go ahead and kind of help solidify that for our agents. It also will help pay for their Energy Express,
Right.
which is a program that they do. It's a summer enrichment program that they
Right.
do with our children to kind of help them maintain those skills, those
Yep.
academic skill levels over the summer. It also provides good meals, nutritional meals over the summer for those
Yep.
children, and provides safe transportation because we'll utilize school buses,
Yep.
school bus drivers to provide transportation for those children.
And a little fact I know about Energy Express, reading in the summer can digress.
Yes, absolutely.
6 months to 8 months. And that's exactly what the focus of Energy Express is. Stop that regression and keep that child at level. And it's a wonderful program. So,
Absolutely, and that's what they've talked about. Is so when they come back to school the following year, they're not having to do so much remediation
Right,
and trying to catch
catch
back up.
They're already
They're
there.
already there and can go right on.
Very important program. It helps out our kids in the summer. So that's a breakdown again across the 5 categories, or 6 categories, I'm sorry, of the levy. Talk about it as a total.
Well, if you look at a total, what this is going to cost for the taxpayers of Roane County, you're looking at about $976,359. It's a 30% levy.
Yep.
It is by far, it's nowhere near what some neighboring counties, Kanawha County,
Yep.
some of those other counties are levied. This is a much lower rate for the levy.
Right. And the benefits of what you get are outstanding.
Outstanding benefits.
Recap that real quick, and then
And and like I said, we're trying to get extra textbooks and technical support and technology training and staff for our staff. We're trying to get extra funds to maintain lower student-to-teacher ratios.
Yep.
We're trying to get extra money for the facilities, additional salaries, or help improve our salaries for professional and service personnel. We're trying to get some extra funding to help provide safe transportation for the students. And we're also supporting WVU's extension agencies, which are providing some enrichment programs during the summer.
All right, it sounds fantastic. If someone wants to get a hold of you, get more information, where can they look for that information?
Go right onto Facebook if you've got a Facebook account, or look on Facebook.com. And if you look up Friends of Roane County Schools on Facebook, you'll see our page there. Like us, and we'll kind of keep you up to date.
There you go. So continual updates to that Facebook page, Friends of Roane County Schools. Search for it, like the page, share that information. Important work for our kids here in Roane County.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, we'll be back with some more shows, and that ends this one. And if you need more information, again, Facebook.com. Search out the Friends of Roane County Schools page. All right, thank you, Mr. Tanner.
Thank you.